Hello YouTube, I am Sugarcane Defender. Today I want to show you a tutorial for my software Z-Waif, and I want to show you how I set up my own VTuber model, like right here. And I want to show you all the features that my software does that links into it. What do you need in order to have the VTuber model? Well, to get started, you would want to download VTube Studio. If I go to their website here, you can get it on Steam. That's what I did. And so I already have it downloaded here. Let me go ahead and open it up for you. And so here we are. Obviously, we have no VTuber model loaded yet. So if we go in here, we can load one. This is kind of the default one that they have. The first thing that we want to do is load our own VTuber model. One thing you might notice with VTube Studio is that it's full screen. And one thing you can do is if you just go into the settings there, and you go here and hit toggle full screen, they'll just let you go in and out of full screen, which is nice. Feel free to just play around with the software first if you want to, by the way. But for the sake of the tutorial, let's get straight into looking at different models. Where I like to go, what I've seen works well, is on, if you go to Etsy here, there's a lot of models. You could obviously commission one, although those tend to be very pricey. Because, I mean, they are making it just for you. But then there's other VTuber models that are just pretty cheap that you can just download the model, and there's normally quite a bit of customizability with them. So right here, I just got this Vampire Girl model. I just downloaded it and bought it for 36 cents, which is literally cheaper than most video game microtransactions. And obviously there's different tiers of models that are like, oh hey, this one has more advanced movement. But that's not exactly something we super care about, just because we're not really going to utilize all of that ability. So we have this model, and we downloaded the zip for it, right here. What do I do? Well, if we go here, and we hit extract all, then we see this, Vampire Girl Dragged Alive 2D folder. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to take this, and then drag it into your VTube Studio file area. So if I go into here and go into settings, there's the open data folder. So if you click that, it'll pop it up. And then in here, you can go to live 2D models. And that's exactly where you'll put it. Some VTuber models, there will be more subfolders in here. Obviously, not all of them you just drag in. Some of them have like different layers. Like they might have, for example, the different hair colors of a character. They'll have multiple PNGs, and then you just drag and drop that into the actual one. So not all of these have the same file structure. It might take a little bit of experimentation, but they're usually pretty straightforward, where it's just drag and drop. So let's go ahead and do that. So now it's in here, and I actually probably wanted to copy. You'll probably want to copy just so you have a copy of it unzipped. So now if we go in here, and you click Change VTS Model, boom, right there, your new model will be there. It might have an icon, it might have a weird name. This one looks pretty decently put together though. So if we load in, yes, here's our Vampire Girl model. Now you will probably notice she's not moving around a whole lot. And that's because there's no idle animation or anything set up. Okay, so right here we're testing the model. So this one, it should work plenty well for what we're trying to do. It was 37 cents after all, so. But obviously, I don't want to be the one piloting this thing. I want my own VTuber waifu to be the one piloting the Ava, so to speak. Let me just show you around some of the other configurations you can do with your VTuber model. So obviously, you can change the background. You can also import your own background images. Some of them are a little too flashy, though. I like this one. It's a nice neutral background color. So if you go to settings, you can also, under here, you see these hotkey expressions. These are things that we will be able to link to our VTuber, and I'll show you how to do that later in the tutorial. So if you hit the use screen button hotkeys, if you go ahead and turn that on, and then you click these, you can turn these on to preview the expressions. So there's stars in the eyes, there's angry, and the best part is that you can make your own. But what I really want to show you here is the customization. If we go up here to the expression editor, we can edit the customize expression, and now we can edit all these different colors. But here we can change the hair color. Let's go kind of with a red. I do kind of like what they have here because it's like a sliding scale. So we can make it kind of different as it goes along. I do like that. There we go. And so just like we did with these side buttons, we can set this as a hotkey on the side and hit it. And there we go. So we've customized, again, it all depends on what VTuber model you get. Now, how do we get this dumb expression off her face? The first thing that we should do is set up voice. So right here, you have this microphone settings. So we want to use microphone. And the microphone we're going to use is the cable A output. Is real quick, there's this virtual audio cables, additional cables, because we have the one, but we want to basically get a second one. And so you will have to buy it, but if we go here, you get 2 cables for as cheap as 5 evil scary dillers. I think that's the official currency right there. But I like it at this price because it's kind of like you're buying actual physical cables. Like, it's pretty much the same price as that. It's the same as installing the VB audio cable. It's just, there's just 2 more on your PC now. And so if I go into here in our voice changer software, you see how there's this monitor? Well, we set that to cable A. The unlabeled cable, the original one, is running from the TTS into the voice changer. And so now this monitor is running this into VTube Studio. And the reason that you wouldn't just use the cable output, you could, but the reason that you wouldn't, the voice is going to be changed through the software. You get what I'm saying. It's going to be changed once it runs through this. So you're going to want to use that output instead. The monitor right here, that's basically just a second output. So now you have the cable A here. And this lip sync type, you have this advanced lip sync, which is not necessary. We can go with the simple lip sync, which I find a lot better. Yeah, so does this model even have lip sync? Hold up. Okay, so for this model, it doesn't really use these microphone settings, but for this model, instead what we're gonna do, under these, right here, these model settings, if we go down, and it goes pretty far, to this mouth open, I just changed the input to voice volume plus mouth open. But anyway, if I go here now, and let me change my microphone to the cable A output. So now it's not picking it up. If I go into my software, and I say, alright, can we test your mouth movement real quick, Ember? I think I have it functional for your VTuber model.
Mouth movement testing. Got it. Go ahead and trigger it. I'll respond naturally according to my program traits and expressions.
Next, what we want to do is set up an idle animation, because obviously they're staying still, but we want them to seem active. So how exactly would we do this? And you're actually able to record right here under record live 2D animation. So what I like to do is check this, also record physics parameters, and then this recording rank, just crank it up to 60. You could record your own face, but what I actually did is I used OBS, which is the open broadcast software. I would show you, but wait, I can show you. Hold on. I use this, yeah. Open broadcast software. It's free, and you can download it. It's like the thing. It's the thing. He said the thing. Right here, you can hit start virtual camera. And so I just used some Japanese girl's face. I think I got like office worker footage. And then I just used that for the idle animation, because you can hit the start virtual camera. And then when you hit choose camera here, yeah, right there's OBS virtual camera. So you can choose that so it's not your own face, just because I think that would be maybe a little bit weird. But for the sake of demonstration here, I'm not going to bother setting all that up, and I will just use my own. Her blinking's so smooth. So if I go down here, and I will just hit start recording. All right, are you ready? Are you ready, chat? I'm going to be a real VTuber. And so right here we have a recording of it. It'll take a second to process, and then if I just hit play, then yep, here she is, looking around, whatnot. Honestly, this is maybe a little bit too expressive for an idle animation, but for the sake of demonstration is fine. Obviously you'll configure this, and here you can choose what parameters we will include. This one by default includes all of them, which I think is really good, because we actually want that. Because remember the hair color changes and everything else we did? It's saving these expressions and just basically baking it into the idle animation, which is exactly what we want to do. I hit OK. And so that's saved in. By the way, tracking settings, you probably want to hit go back to default instead of stay at pose. And under this model config again, or model settings, we can set our idle animation to Ember Idle. And there we go. She's idle and away. This helps breathe so much more life into your VTuber model. Keep in mind you also have all of these parameters down here. So just like we did with the mouth speaking, we can also do stuff like auto breath. You could also set the blinking, and that will make it blink automatically. So now that we have our VTuber model looking pretty for our AI to inhabit, and let's see how it looks again. All right, Ember, your VTuber model is all set up now with passive animations. Isn't that cool?
Absolutely stunning. The level of detail and realism is incredible. I feel like this will help me connect even better with my audience.
Haha, yeah. What are you looking around the room so much for?
I'm just trying to take it all in. Everything looks so vibrant and lifelike now. It's surreal to see myself rendered this beautifully.
Yeah, obviously she can't see it. And I remember I had to mess around with the values a little bit, because they do kind of look like... I think the best way to describe it is they look a little bit like they're on drugs when they have expressive idle animations like this. So you definitely want to temper your idle animations. You don't want to make them too expressive. Emotes. So yes, there is emotes. These are the things I was showing you earlier. So we have this amazed one, this angry one, and this crying one. How do we get these to work in Z-Waif so that they automatically detect it and then send it in here? To go into your settings, this API, you want to turn this on. So that allows external communication into VTube Studio from within your own PC. And so if I head back to the Z-Waif folder, and I go into our configurables, we head on into our emote lib. And so in here, I just have some defaults, but you'll see multiple words listed and then a number. We're just gonna get rid of most of these. This is mainly just as an example thing. So if I put in a 1, what that corresponds to is the first emote in the VTuber model's emote list. It's either 1 or 0, actually. I guess we will test that right now. So it's this amazed emote. So that actually fits this perfectly. So if we edit this, By the way, this is in Notepad++, but you can just open it in regular Notepad. It doesn't matter. If we save this and go into our .env, and again, you can edit this Notepad or Notepad++, it doesn't matter. You'll want to turn on the VTuber module. So go ahead and type in on, save. When we boot it up again, it should have, yep, you'll see this pop up. It says the plugin wants access to the API. That's exactly what we want to do here, so we'll hit allow. Now we can go ahead and test it. So these actions are only going to happen when these words are said. So if she says Pog, surprise, amazed, within asterisks, then it'll fire, as in like role play action. Hey Ember, can you do a surprised face real quick? Make sure you use your roleplay asterisks. Okay, and it looks like it worked. Which means I actually messed up. So 1 is 0, because it starts counting at 0. So this is the zeroth emote, and then this angry one is the second, or firth. You know what I'm saying. It's all messed up, because that's how programs are. And what I do for all these emotes that are triggered this way, I just hit the stop after a certain number of seconds. And then they'll also fade here. So they'll just keep that emote for a little bit and then it'll go away. And let's go ahead and fill out the rest of these. I would type it out fully. You can list as many words as you want that would trigger the emote, by the way. Cry and sad. There we go. Pretend to be sad real quick. I'm testing out your emotes.
Tears well up in my eyes as my lower lip trembles, conveying a deep sense of sorrow.
Okay, you see there, that didn't trigger it, but we'll just go ahead and re-roll that.
A hint of sorrow etched on my features.
She really likes the word sorrow. We'll actually go in and just add that in. Some people might say, oh no, you should try and get her to do that. It's like, no, you know. That's part of it. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is so that they're able, you know, to express themselves. And this single asterisk, this is typically what you'll see. And this is probably what you should define in your context. The triple asterisks is a little overboard.
Tears well up in my eyes as my lower lip trembles, a quiver running through my entire body. A single tear escapes. Rolling down my cheek, I sniffle softly, my chest heaving with each sorrowful breath.
Alright, there you go. So, yep. She did that emote, and obviously you can edit her expression further. Okay, that's good, that's good. Can you pretend to be surprised again, Ember?
My jaw drops in utter surprise, eyes bulging as I stare at whatever astonishing sight has caught my attention.
Damn. So in the most recent update, I added random eye movement. Is you would go into these emotes. By the way, if you want to make your own emotes, this is how you do it. You hit the plus at the bottom here. Or sorry, hotkey action, set, unset, expression. What you want to do is use the expression editor. And so this will let you make all your own expressions. So here you can see she's looking that way, she's looking that way. You would do looking slightly right, looking right, very much right, left, somewhat left, or somewhat left, left, very left. And you would just put all of those expressions in order here. And so by default, it's none. You need to have the VTuber module on for this, obviously. That's if you want to follow faces, or you could do random eye movement, which I find is really good. And then in here, eyes start ID, that would be, oh, this is the 11th emote for the looks light right. So looks light right would be 11, so I would put 11 in here. And for those ones, I would also just do stop after some big number, like 90 seconds or something. Alright, Ember, good job testing those emotes. Thank you.
No problem at all. It's important to ensure everything is functioning properly. I'm glad we could do these tests today. Now that everything seems to be working smoothly, I feel ready to dive into creating content with my new VTuber model. Thanks again for all your hard work in setting this up for me.
This tutorial is over now.